asks, can you please stop looking at me while I try to complete my WOD?
No, Barbie, we can't. Yeah, you'll have to talk to Kelly on that one, but yeah, we just love you guys too much to just kind of let you do your own thing. We have to make sure that you're doing well and being safe. So I'm sorry. Plus, I mean, you're pretty impressive, to watch. I mean, it's kind of like watching a games athlete just kind of get in awe sometimes. So it would be difficult, for me to look away and sometimes.
Andy Salvi asks, how long does it take you to put on all your accessories before a WOD?
That's a good question. I'm getting better. Efficiency is the key word when we're doing anything CrossFit. So I've really kind of got it dialed in, Andy. The only thing that I would say is sometimes when I'm doing the gymnastics wraps and I can't get my fingers through those stinking small holes, sometimes that, and then I start to panic a little bit and I start fighting and I end up, but then the words of Jen coming back to me of slow is steady and steady is fast, so then I just calm down, I take a breath, and the fingers slip right in there. So I'm getting better, I'm getting more efficient, and pretty soon, you guys won't have to wait for me at all to start a workout. So I'm looking forward to that day. Favorite lift. Okay, this is an interesting one because, like I said, body weight movements, because I'm not a big guy, not super strong, but body weight movements are easier for me and I can do those better. But I think my favorite lift is actually the overhead squat for an interesting reason. And it's because when I first started CrossFit, and I'm sure that other people can relate to this, when I first started CrossFit, I could not do like an empty 45-pound bar overhead squat. Super issues with my shoulders and mobility, just could not get down there and have that thing stabilized overhead. It always seemed to pull forward and fall if I had any weight on it. So it was super uncomfortable, super difficult for me. But I worked on it a lot because it frustrated me. So I worked on shoulder mobility, rolling out, trying to get into a good position. I kept working on that lift. And actually about a month ago, I did a single rep overhead squat of 185 pounds, which is about 20 pounds over my body weight. And that's not going to win any competitions, but from where I started was a huge jump. So the reason that that's my favorite lift isn't because I'm really good at it, because I'm still not really good at it, but it's just because it's kind of a representation to me of just what small jumps and consistent work on something, how much progress you can see over the long term. So it's kind of an icon in my mind of that principle, which is a lot of what CrossFit is really about, is just staying consistent, going for just small little steps of progress, and then sticking with it, and you'll see a lot of change over the long term. So that's my favorite lift for that reason.
If there wasn't a pandemic going on, what country would you like to travel to?
What country would I like to travel? Well, that's a tough one too. I think I would probably pick two that I would choose from for two different reasons. One, I've been to Thailand and I absolutely loved it, and I would love to take Christy there sometime. I spent a few weeks over there right before we got married, when we were dating. I loved the people, I loved the country, I loved the scenery and all the different things that we did. So I would really like to get back over there and bring Christy. That would be really fun. But my boys also really want to go to Africa, especially my son Jonathan. Loves African animals, and because of that, if we were going on a family trip, I think maybe going over to Africa, seeing some different parts or different countries over there and getting in on a little safari would be a really fun thing to do with my boys.
What's your favorite cardio movement like?
My favorite cardio movement? It would have been double unders until I started having some feet issues. So now I kind of stick to single unders because I have been battling some stuff going on with plantar fasciitis and stuff. So I would say rowing, even though, again, I'm not the best at it. I'm not real tall or have a long stride or anything like that. But I think for my size, I feel like I do fairly well on that. And because it's so technique driven and not just engine driven, I feel like there's always something to work on and always a way to improve a little bit just by dialing in the technique portion of that.